Top stories in your Smart Start for Friday at 6:47 and breaking updates on this firefight overnight in Brighton at an apartment complex. We do have video from that scene. This is Elmwood Terrace. That scene got under control. The fire is out. Authorities tell News 8 multiple people left displaced as 2 apartments are deemed unlivable for the time being. The other tenants were allowed to go back to their homes. No word yet on a cause of those flames. The latest we know in Irondequoit on this family tragedy there, a grandfather murdered by his grandson. The suspect died by suicide during an hours-long manhunt that ended an hour from here. Aron Spitzer is here in studio with the latest on the case. Aron.
Brennan, Irondequoit Chief of Police Scott Peters says this stemmed from a weeks-long argument over the grandfather's house. Shortly before 6 yesterday morning, police say 80-year-old John DePonso's girlfriend called 911 hysterically, telling them, quote, "There is blood everywhere." When they arrived at the house on Pine Grove Avenue, the man's body was found near the door. The victim's girlfriend gave them a description of the suspect, 24-year-old Andrew Vahey, the victim's grandson. She explained what happened, and police say surveillance video confirmed her statements. Vahey lived down the street. When police got to that address, they found the suspect's roommate at the house. All the while, neighbors started to question what's going on.
Every Friday they have a party, and there's anywhere from 5 to 7 cars parked out there. They have been in not good terms for quite a while.
He also said he just received some texts from his roommate that said he had just killed his grandfather and was now going to kill himself.
Police located the suspect's car at Letchworth State Park, and after evacuating the park, they began to search for the suspect with canines.
The suspect was armed with what appeared to be a long gun. SORT team members attempted to contact the suspect, but he immediately used the gun to take his own life. Emergency medical care was given by SORT team members, but it proved to be unsuccessful.
As police continued their investigation, shocked neighbors, including one who knew the victim, called DePonso a good man.
Just didn't bother anybody. Always helpful. They always take the good ones first, except this time it wasn't God's fault.
The police chief says he is saddened the situation took place in his community and that a family lost 2 members. While their investigation is now closed, there will be victims assistance and other resources made available to those who need it. Brennan?
Aron, thank you. All of our coverage on this awful story for all those involved. You can find that with the full press conference from the chief, his investigators, on the homepage of rochesterfirst.com. To a case out of Greece where police say they have arrested the man who shot 2 people in May on Britain Road. Police tell us 27-year-old Elazar Ortiz opened fire as a fight broke out between 2 groups of people. The bullets went through a nearby home, hitting a man and a woman inside. Both of those victims continue to recover from their injuries. Police say the woman also lost her unborn child due to what happened to her. Ortiz is charged with attempted murder, assault, and gun crimes. Local law enforcement and federal officials have announced the conviction of a Rochester man on a charge, criminal possession of a machine gun. This is noteworthy. It's the first time someone has been convicted on that type of gun crime in western New York. When they searched David Rivera Ruiz's home, they found fentanyl, cocaine, and guns, including a Glock pistol with a red part on the back that converts a pistol to a fully automatic weapon. You see examples there. The charge carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 30 years in prison. The U.S. Attorney for this district in western New York, Trini Ross, tells us this sends a clear message: do not get one.
If you pull the trigger once and you fire 30 rounds, you are bound to hit and hurt someone. So it is a priority of the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney's Office in this district that we prosecute these cases when they come to us.
They add they are really focused on the devices because they're easy to obtain if you know where to go. They can be ordered online. They can even be made using 3D printers. A former Spencerport Middle School math teacher, pictured here, will spend the next 14 years in prison after pleading guilty in a federal child porn case. It's Ian Milam, who was arrested in August after police say they caught him posing as a high school student on social media in order to get young girls, including some of his students, to send him sexually explicit content. We heard from the prosecutor outside court yesterday for sentencing.
And the fact that this was their teacher, someone that they grew to trust, the amount of calls and letters that we received and the FBI received as a result of this case was numerous. The amount of people who had him as a teacher formerly who were concerned that he may have acted inappropriately with them and they didn't see it, and the amount of parents who had students in his class was significant.
For now, Milo will be taken to be held at the Livingston County Jail until he's moved to another facility where he'll stay. And following that 14-year sentence, he must register as a sex offender. The family of Savannah Strieber got together honoring her on what would have been her 29th birthday this week, the first since her accused killer was arrested. Strieber was just 8 years old when she was killed in a house fire here in Rochester in 2004, which police say was intentionally set by this man, Timothy Kuhn, who would be arrested 20 years after the fact. He's accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at the house on Yates Street. Several other people when this happened did survive. And at the birthday gathering for the victim, Strieber's mom told us it has simply been too painful and too long living life without her baby girl.
I'm happy that we're finally going to get some kind of justice. Hopefully all this will work out. Just it's sad because it never gets easier any year. It's just horrible, but we're all here together, and that's what matters the most. Everybody's here.
Kuhn faces arson and murder charges in the case. We'll keep you updated as the court proceedings continue with him. 7 minutes to go until 7 o'clock this Friday. Your sunrise traffic updates in our Smart Start. Want to give you a live look downtown, South and Broad. Plenty of sunshine, no issues there. Same can be said for now on our expressways. Keep it easy and safe headed out there and grab those sunshades. Enjoy the day. We'll check sunrise traffic again coming up at 7:25. As News 8, your election headquarters, President Joe Biden travels to North Carolina today. Former President Donald Trump is speaking at his own campaign event in Virginia. They're on the move after last night. They faced off, the political rivals, for 90 minutes. The first debate ahead of November's election. They clashed on their records over the economy, abortion, immigration, the ongoing wars in Ukraine and Gaza, as well as the January 6th Capitol riots. In Albany, the state legislature has approved this new bill we've been talking about to set maximum temperature thresholds in schools. In extreme cases, it requires students and staff to stay home if AC is not available. Under this measure, when the temps hit 82 degrees indoors, so inside the classroom, schools would be encouraged to turn off the overhead lights and open all the windows and doors. At 88, students and staff would have to move to another space altogether. It is last call for all the music fans who want to enjoy what's left of the Jazz Festival. Tonight's big headliner, Samara Joy at Kodak Hall. Latrice and Frequency and Semifunk playing at Parcel 5. Should be great for that. Tomorrow, the final day of the festival, yes, we will be talking about rain. Don't stay home. Still get out. Enjoy it. Just keep your eye on the News 8 app and for what James has to say right now.
Yeah, there are some hints that things get moving along and should be out of here maybe by 6 or 7 p.m.
Oh, nice.
So maybe the later shows should be okay to wrap up things. But the shows today are fantastic.
Yeah.
You got to love the weather here. A really great stretch, upper 70s to near 80. Then we fall down into the lower 70s. Rain tomorrow, yes, but Sunday looks better. Monday, not too bad. You know what's nice about the Jazz Fest? I know it's going to sound silly, but standing in the middle of the street with a beer is kind of cool.
It is. Everyone, they show up in their chairs, hang out, just turn a corner. There's a whole different show.
Exactly.
Yeah, enjoy that today. Maybe the Wings homestand if you're going. Have a great weekend, everybody. CBS Mornings up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.